Hey guys, Dan again with Pain For You. I'm shooting a bunch of videos today. Who are you practicing to be? In other words, as we go through life, who are you practicing to be? And if you don't like who you are and how you're showing up in the world, or if you're not happy, what can you practice to be a different person? In other words, if you are and look, don't take this the wrong way, but many folks go through life afraid. They go through life timid, shy, awkward, fearful of what the world thinks about them, fearful that they aren't good enough, worried that other people are going to criticize them and not accept them. And we are literally going through life practicing being that person. Why? Because that's how we show up every day, right? And you've seen transformations all over the place. You've seen them on TV, and oh, this person used to be this way, and now they're this, and look, they're talking on stage and changing lives and all that stuff. Who are you practicing to be? If you're not happy with your life, can you begin practicing to be slightly different, to get a different result? Because I can assure you, if you are showing up every day as the same person you were yesterday and the day before and the decade before that, you're probably going to be the same person because you keep practicing that, right? I don't know, I like the musical analogies, but if you are practicing to be a violinist and you practice, and 5 years later you go, geez, I hate the violin, but you keep playing the violin, don't be surprised in 5 more years that you're still a violinist. You don't want to be a violinist. You got to put down the violin and start doing something different. Learn the piano, learn the trumpet, learn the saxophone, learn the guitar, right? Who are you practicing to be? Because if you continue to show up every day as the same person and go through life in the same way as yesterday, and you're not happy with where you are and who you are, but yet every day you continue to repeat what you did yesterday, don't be surprised when in 5 years from now, you are the same person, right? And I talk about, TMS, too much stress, distraction pain, all this stuff. It's not about something you do to end the pain, right? Yes, we do the journaling. Yes, we do the feeling process, the emotional discovery. We do the mindset stuff. We do those things, right? With the end goal of hopefully I'll beat this pain. But invariably, I think it's much more about who do you become? Because what I hope for you is that you become a stronger, more resilient person who's not afraid of the emotions and kind of stops the repression process and allows yourself to feel emotions and let them go instead of clinging to these emotional charges forever. Like if you're angry at somebody for years, you're choosing that unhappiness. You are choosing to hold on to that grudge and that resentment. And when are you going to let go of it? Well, I can't let go of it. They did something horrible. Well, you're only hurting yourself. So how long are you going to hold on to that reaction to whatever situation it was? I'm not saying your reaction was wrong. Invariably, when we get angry for somebody doing something to us, those reactions are real. I'm pissed off. Okay. How long are you going to stay in that reaction? That's up to you. You don't need an apology from somebody else. You get to choose how long am I going to hold on to that bitterness before I let it go, right? This is what I mean by who are you practicing to be? Are you practicing holding on to these grudges and resentments and angers and bitterness and then wondering why 3 years from now you're such an angry son of a bitch? Everybody around you thinks, boy, this guy's just a real jerk. That's because you're practicing being a jerk. You're practicing holding on to grudges and resentments and angers. Look, if you're in your 50s and you're still pissed off that your dad spanked you as a kid, that's on you. Yeah, I'm not suggesting that our parents are flawless and they did a wonderful job and we just ended up screwed up on our own account. Look, most of us are the way we are because of our upbringing, because of our environment, because of our parents. But look, we are the way we are because of our traumas. But it's up to us to fix and decide who we're going to be moving forward. And that takes practice. So if you want to be a little bit more brave and outgoing and less socially awkward, guess what you got to do? You got to decide to do those things, and you've got to get out in the world and take some chances and realize that, yes, I can handle this stuff. So, I don't know. A lot of this stuff could be easily interpreted as me picking on you and saying, this is all your fault. And that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm trying to suggest is that we become who we practice to be every day. And if you are practicing to be that angry son of a bitch, or this bitter person, or somebody who is always afraid of what other people will think, and you practice that and you show up that way every single day, don't be surprised when 3 years from now you're still doing that, because that's what you're practicing. If you don't like something about how you're showing up in the world, it's time to start practicing something different. You know? It's as simple as that. So who are you practicing to be? And if you're not happy with who you are and how you're showing up, change your practice every day. Do something a little bit different. Baby steps. I'm not saying tomorrow you wake up and whammo, you're a whole new person. Whole new, dynamic, changed person. No, usually it doesn't happen that way. But we can decide that, hey, there's some things about myself that I would love to change. And so every day you practice a little bit, and you practice a little bit. And over time, that practice will turn you into a different person, you know? And you see somebody you haven't seen in 2 years, and they're like, wow, you just seem different. What is it? That's the type of result you can get by changing the things you're practicing. And again, if you're not happy or you don't like yourself, okay, write out a list. What am I unhappy with? And have I been practicing being that person? And if so, what can I do today, right now, to start making little changes? And by doing so, moving forward, you can practice becoming a better version of yourself. I'm not saying you got to replace everything about yourself, but boy, if there's some things you don't like, start practicing being a slightly newer, better, improved version of yourself, right? So, no insult intended here. If anybody took this personally, that I'm attacking you and saying, this is all your fault, not at all. I'm just suggesting that we have more power to change ourselves and our lives than we give ourselves credit for, than we are aware of. And if you don't like something, it's likely because you've been practicing that for however long. If you want to change that, it's up to you to practice being somebody different and somebody, I don't know, more evolved than you consider yourself to be now. So that, to me, is not critical, but offering a view that perhaps you weren't seeing before. And I look at that as very empowering. And take a look at those things. They matter. So, if you don't like who you are, start practicing being somebody different. And let me know what you think. Did you find this helpful? Did you find it insulting? Did you find it really empowering? Like, you mean I don't have to stay this way just because I was raised this way and that's who I am now? You mean I don't have to stay that way? Exactly. And that's the whole point of this video. Who are you now? If you don't like it, start practicing becoming somebody different. And you'll be surprised how the world shows up differently around you. So I love you guys and gals. We'll talk to you in the next video.